So what, if anything, can FEMA do to keep the faith? Let's ask General Russel Honoré. He was the commander of Joint Task Force Katrina, where he was responsible for coordinating military relief efforts for Hurricane Katrina, worked very closely with FEMA. Thank you very much for coming on. Appreciate it. What do you think FEMA can do to try to enhance people's faith in what they're doing?
Well, they will put teams down inside communities, in towns, and then at the county level and at some of the distribution sites, where they will go face to face with people. And I hope that's what this gentleman does. He gives it an opportunity and go sit and talk with them, and they'll lay it out for him. There are people just like him that come from all political backgrounds, and hopefully they convince him, because he's going to have his family suffer if he doesn't have insurance and he doesn't have the money to rebuild his home. And FEMA is a way to help him get back into a place to live. And I hope he go and meet with the FEMA people, give them a shot.
Well, and this is where credit is due. Republican Senator Tom Tillis from North Carolina has posted a schedule today for FEMA to meet with survivors. He gave them specific times. FEMA disaster assistance will meet at the following locations from 6 a.m. to 8 p.m. to meet face-to-face with survivors. He goes on to list addresses or locations where they'll be going door to door. It sounds like that's exactly what you're suggesting they need to do.
That's where I would try to encourage him to go. That senator did a great job in exposing and telling his people where to go for help. Because sometimes if you're my age, the boomer, you're not agile on the internet and dealing with opening websites. But that's why they have these in-person capacity. And sometimes you live in an area that the internet is not working, or you don't have electricity. So these boots on the ground by FEMA is a way for people. And I hope he can get his father-in-law to have someone take him over and just sit and talk with the FEMA people and see how they can help him, if he deserves to help him. But it sounds like he's been influenced by some very negative information that FEMA is going to do something to him.
Let me play. This is Secretary Mayorkas today talking about some of these rumors and this information. Let's listen.
There is false information that federal employees who are there to help people will actually take their land. And what we have seen is people reticent, reluctant to access the relief to which they are entitled and which will help them because of the fear that that false information has instilled in them.
You've obviously been involved in relief efforts in conjunction with FEMA. You ever seen anything like this?
Well, then we did have rumors that started in Katrina. Rumors like they're blowing the levees in the poor people part of New Orleans to save the rich part. And that thing went on for about 3 hours until we got on television, myself and others, and said, hell no, we're not blowing the levees. The levees are not being blown, because that was an old story from the 1927 flood when they did blow some levees in Mississippi. The other thing we dealt with is there's snipers on the streets in New Orleans, and that was started by a police officer who started that rumor that snipers were out. And again, we had to immediately go out. The people in New Orleans, the survivors, they didn't hear this message, but the rest of the country did. And the next of the country needed to know there were no snipers in New Orleans. And we put that message out quick and had to repeat it for 24 hours because, you know, a lie will go around the world before the truth get out the gate.
Yep, but they believe you.
Rumors are always a problem.
That they believe you. That's the key, and that's the problem, right? Secretary Mayorkas is going out there, and he's being undermined by many who want to sort of combine politics with just rescue efforts.
It's always tough when you have a big storm like this in the political season. I've seen it happen before, but we need to get this thing calmed down, and people in the news like you who are seeking the truth and getting the facts to people is very important. But there's some folks that go along and spread the message, and they're on major news network and they're spreading that message. And that's a crying damn shame that they're going along with this as opposed to straightening it up like you were working it.
Yeah. General Russel Honoré, thank you so much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your screen. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.